Okay, Sinatapi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. We are coming to you live from the Blackfeet Reservation, where it's North American Indian Days. And that starts today with the youth, I think there's 1,500 youth behind this truck right now. It's 88 Fahrenheit, and so we got into the air conditioning just to do Wellness Wednesday. So welcome. These are the new sunglasses that it says Blackfeet Youth Days that they gave all of the elders, and the elders are all over there with their umbrellas, and they just fed everyone. They're feeding a couple thousand people right now. And of course, red hot dogs, red hamburgers, and potato salad, and watermelon. And there's a helicopter from Malmstrom Air Force Base is out back there. And they have 48 booths with free stuff for kids 5 years old to, we're saying 24 years old, because sometimes when you're 24 years old, we still consider you a precious, sacred youth. So welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. We always come to you at this time, Mountain Standard Time. Here in Montana, it's 106. In Washington, D.C., it's 3:06. And we always, in Pacific Standard Time, it's 12:06. And Tiffany, and Amber Webb, I think it's 10:06 in Alaska right now. And then all of our Hawaii folks, it's real early in the morning. And then all of our Australian, it's a day earlier. Auckland, New Zealand, it's a day earlier. And in Canada, they don't have no time, eh? In Canada, the outlawed time, so nobody knows what time it is. That's what the British people wanted them to learn. No. Anyway, Calgary Stampede's going on. If you want to enjoy Indian rodeo, if you want to enjoy Indian dancing, and they put up a camp at it's at the Elbow Bow River, and it's all the painted lodges, which we call teepees lodges, and families, not only from the Blackfoot Confederacy, but families from Sutina, families from Treaty 7, Treaty 6, Treaty 3, Treaty 8. They all come and they celebrate. It's been, going on for about 100 years. And so Indians just get together there. So go to Calgary Stampede, and they have some good chicken dance going on, and they just have a lot. And Carol Mason, hey Carol Mason, there's a whole crew up there. I think Red Gun's up there. They even, Dwayne Mistaken Chief, he was putting on some videos. Tag us on Picanny Press. We like to show the dancing. And then here, today is about celebration. The topic is celebration. Everywhere I look, Indians are celebrating. We just finished our Lee powwow. Anna Whiting Sorrell, Jean Sorrell, Rosemary Kaye, and then, everyone comes home. So that means the Indians that have to go to the city to get a job, because sometimes there's not jobs on the res, eh? Unless you make them. Or your cousin gives you a job. Their cousin just gives you a job because you are their cousin. I was laughing because in California, now you can just marry someone and they're your husband, and then you have two per capitas. And then if you marry your other cousin, you'll have 3 per capitas. And then if you marry your other cousin, now, you're not supposed to be marrying your cousin. You're not supposed to be making children with your cousin, right? But anything's for grabs, I guess, because no one knows who's their cousins. Is that my cousin? Is that my cousin? Anyway, they just hook up crazy. Okay, so celebration. So one of the things that we have 1.5 million acres over here, and over towards Polson, I saw that they do such a great parade of honoring their veterans. They did such a great honoring here at Chewing Black Bones on July 4th. We had all of the Blackfoot Confederacy. We even had Henry Butterfly. And I think I'd have to ask, he's our last Korean vet that's alive. I know our executive director, Jolene, her dad, Jack, is a Korean vet. But the Korean vets were there. The World War II vets were there. The World War I. There was combat Vietnam vets. There was Iraq freedom. There's been this celebration that I've never seen before. Never seen the amount of love and unconditional love for our vets. And so the celebration began there. There was contest dancing, and there was a lot of unresolved grief that was healed because people finally got to have memorials for all of their relatives that they lost during the pandemic. Okay, it must be over 100 degrees. The iPhone overheated, and so we got shut off. Isn't that funny? Like, we get overheated, and I thought, yeah, I'm kind of, we'll start singing some sweat songs. But welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today, our topic is about celebration. And I'm just sitting here in Browning, Montana. It is, life is precious. There's a lot of, there's about 1,500 youth from 5 years old to 24 years old. And they're giving out all these shirts. They're giving out all sunglasses, food, boxes of toys. And they're talking about how precious life is. And it's a youth day that starts on the day before North American Indian Days. So tomorrow is the inauguration. So there's a celebration here on this reservation. We have new council members, and so they'll be brought out, and then they'll elect at that time in front of the people. They'll elect the new chairman, and then they'll elect the new vice chairman, the new treasurer, and the new secretary. So you're welcome to come out. So that'll be the 11th on the Blackfeet Reservation. And that will happen inside of air conditioning in our new arbor. There is air conditioning. Like, yay, air conditioning. That's why it's 100 degrees out there. And it's direct sun, so that's why I'm sitting in Moor Pony, just coming to you, talking about celebration. Why is it so important in July for Indian country and for First Nations for us to begin to really celebrate? I think there's some kind of synergy, and there's a spirituality around celebrations, and we know best. It's kind of like, when you give your baby its first birthday celebration, when you give your babies their first rite of passage. I just met some 6-year-olds, and and I said, Kistu, who are you? And she, ni stu ni daniko enux sinapa aki, little fox woman. But she pronounced, and she's like 6 years old, so I always so I said, well, that's so good, because I know, I had a little Chihuahua, and his name was Enux Kumapi, a little boy. So Enux, so we were going through picking apart her name, because I know she that would help her speak Blackfoot. And I go, and Sinapa is fox, and so you could have a little Sinapa or Amok, a big fox, a Sinapa. And then Aki means a Gikawan's girl, but Aki means woman. So you're little fox woman, but you could be little fox, a Gikawan, little fox girl. And you know what? She was just listening to me, and then she just said it. Nistu Nidaniko Inuk Sinapa, and she was going, and then she was looking, and she goes, Agikawan. She had listened, and she was saying it how she understood it, and to conjugate and to, at least I'm a practicing speaker. It's lateral oppression when you make fun of people who only speak English. That's lateral oppression. You should never make fun of how they say it. They're practicing, so we're all practicing speakers, except I guess like Red Gun and Dwayne Mistaken Chief. They're the only, no. I like to tease those guys because they're just all that, and they are. I respect them. But it's better to say, rather than say you're a fluent speaker or you don't speak, there's all this fluidness, just like there is with gender fluid, there's speaking fluid. We should all say we're practicing, we should celebrate our language. I was a little crow girl, so to her I say shodaje, so then I say hello in crow, and then ask her what her crow name is, and I tell her my favorite crow word is ishpu because it means the manyfold, a tripe. I love that. So there's a little Lakota girl over there, and so I always say, ikchikpa piva, to the crow, or to the crow in Northern Cheyenne, piva. And then if they understand, I go pivorific. Then they laugh because that means good, because I always I'll say kistu ixakapi poka, you're just a really good child. I tell it, and I said, do you know what I said to you? And they look, and I go, I just said you're a really good child. So in our celebration of language, you should always help whoever you're conversing with learn more, and sometimes talk slower. I was raised by slow talkers. They would think, they would pause, there was pacing. They never just talked fast, and you can tell them now because how they pronounce English words. Like here, if they're pretty much speak Blackfoot, when they say school, they'll say skoo. And so if you hear them say skoo, they're a speaker. If you hear them, say mum, they're from the Canada side, because that's how they say mom. And even how they say ninna, like dad or father, how they ninna, when we pray, sometimes we say Hayo Shtipatapi, Hayo Ninna, Hayo Napi Natusi. But that Ninna, and I guess, I have a Browning accent, but when I go off the res, I talk like a white person. I can articulate, and I can pronounce all of the syllables. No. So this celebration. So here, North American Indian Days, the camp is set up, and Calgary Stampede is set up. Next, they'll be getting ready for Kainai Days, and then they'll be getting ready in this area. We have, like 3 Okons, medicine lodges of celebration and prayer. So you're welcome. You're welcome to come. Anyone could come. Just don't come drunk or something. Come and ask for prayers. Come and give offerings. Come and tell them what you need. And it's okay to say for yourself, and it's okay to pray for your brothers and sisters and your children. You can even pray for your exes. It's really good to pray for your exes and have forgiveness, not be holding grudges. If you hold grudges and resentments, you get diabetes, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack. So forgive! Celebrate forgiveness. It's just better to forgive, but if it takes you a while, forgive a little bit at a time. Have boundaries. The first step is just let it be. That's an acceptance and a forgiveness. Just let it be. Let them be. Don't be talking bad about them or gossiping. If you're gossiping about someone in a negative manner, that is called lateral oppression. So knock it off. It's not a good way for us to become healthy. And this is Native Wellness Institute Wellness Wednesday. So the celebration, lateral kindness, lateral forgiveness. We've been just sitting in the sun for, 4 hours. And every person we saw, we just said, hey, how are you? Okay. And then, how are you doing? You look good. Be all Shaggy. You look good, Shaggy. Be all greasy. You look good, all greasy. You look, one eyelash is up like this and another one's down like this. You look good. Anyway, I just love that, you can tell someone, just tell them they look good. Tell them they look good, and that could be the celebration. Turn it into lateral kindness. The other, I'd like to invite you. We're on Saturday. He just stepped down from the lead on the Crazy Dog Brave Dog Society, Leon Rattler. He's helped Buster Yellow Kidney and that crew, like 4 decades, put up that bundle and dance. But he's helping with 5 transfers, headdress transfers. One is a split horn, and you're all welcome to come. It is on the schedule. It'll be happening at supper break on Saturday at the North American Indian Days in Browning, Montana. And it will be happening in the arbor around the Ganaxtamada, the Crazy Dog Lodge. It's a beaver lodge, and then there might be a bigger lodge that's set up there. So I'm inviting you because we're part of, we've been involved. The 28th annual Two-Spirit gathering is in August on Flathead Lake. But Stephen Barrios is going to be transferred to Kami Poismanix. Now, Kami Poismanix, and it's how my dialect, it means owner of a stand-up headdress. And we're just human. We're nothing but these headdresses, and the Blackfoot Confederacy always carried good medicine for uplifting people and encouraging people and having people feel proud to be Blackfoot. So they're just for Blackfoots, our Blackfeet, or Natsitapi. They're not for non-Natsitapi, non-Blackfeet, or non-Blackfoot. They're so Stephen is 72 years old, and most of his life, of that 72 years old, he has helped people. He has helped not only the Two-Spirit. He was a hairdresser for years, and he was everybody's counselor, because hairdressers are your counselors. Did you know that? They do your hair, and they, it's just so beautiful. So Stephen is going to be transferred on Saturday, so you're welcome to come. The others, Ramona Croft, Daryl Hall, Leon Rattler's mate is named Tina. I think she's getting transferred split horn, and then there's one other. So come for that celebration. What else should we celebrate? I was just talking with a mother here, and we always celebrate. We're the same age, and we always visit on how we're taking care of ourselves. We were laughing because she was saying, I want to live longer. And I go, yeah, we're going to live longer. I think you're going to live to be 90. So I said, well, how are you taking care of yourself? And so we talk about it. We talk about how we've always done that, since I've known her for a good 25 years now. And then we talk about our children and others. So I just say, are your children behaving? We start there. I go, because some of my children aren't behaving. And she goes, some of my children. And then we tell stories. And at the end, we always say, I tell her, well, I'm going to pray for your babies. And, her babies are 35 and my baby's 45. But I said, I'm going to pray for your babies. And then it's like our celebration ritual. I'm going to pray for her babies. She's going to pray for my babies. And then I said, I'm asking extra prayer for my mom. My mom's going to be 86, and we just want her to have a much more harmonious life. And because she, anyway, we started saying who we should pray for. And then I go, okay. And I'm just like sweating to death because I guess the phone, it shut off and because of the heat. And it actually feels pretty good. I think I've learned in my life to never complain about the weather. I've always just said, thank you for the heat. Hayo na tusi no gyakimoka no gaspomoka. Pity me, help me. Thank you, the sun, for photosynthesis, all of the green that you give us. Thank you, sun, for all of the inspiration that you give us. Thank you, sun, for all of the harmony that you bring to earth. Thank you, sun, for the things that you've given us, the good water, the good air, the roof over our head, the food that we have to eat. So there's always that time to thank the sun and never say, oh, it's too hot, or whatever. We were, one of the things given to us elders was this little, it's kind of cool. Gets rid of some of your grease. Anyway, kind of, get your tongue stuck in it. No. But they were just so kind. Everybody was celebrating the elders here. And they were going to honor my mother, which they did. So we made sure she got all dressed up in one of her favorite new dresses and her new earrings. And then Walter shows up. And he has one of the scarves that belonged to his mother. And he brought, and it still smelled like his mother. And he gave it to my mom to honor her. Just to honor her, because Walter lost his mom, I think it was 3 years ago. And mom and they were friends. And the last time she came home, I would say it was 2018. We just danced with her and took her around, and then when she passed, so it's good to see Walter because he was with his granddaughter, the cutest little granddaughter, and his other relatives, and that's what celebration here. Everyone, we were just, because we were sitting with the elders, and I was listening to them talk about how the Trombleys were related, how the Halls were related, how the Bullshoes were related, how the Big Springs were related. And I just, at that time, the respect that you can give is just shut up. Don't ask no questions. Let them tell you the story. And most of it's true. And then you'll get to know why, here at the turn of the century, there was only like 1,200 of us. We almost got genocide. Now there's 18,000 enrolled and 20,000 descendants, but we're all related. So we're all relations. That's in Lakotas, they say all my relations. It is your relations. Celebrate. It's time. July, this week, this summer, surviving the pandemic. It's time to celebrate all your relations. And I just I'm excited, because this is, I come close to crying because I just don't want to be, this is my mom's day. So it's about her, not about me. But there were several moments when I seen her just get up and go and be ready to celebrate. And I was just going, oh, Mom. And I could see, but when she started talking and she talked about her and Debbie Whitegrass bullshit, when they first started, they had no money. And of course, they had 67 kids that won something of the games that they had, and they went and got bologna and bread and potato chips and pop. That's what they, out of their own pockets, and they were able to feed them. And then they started getting stuff for prizes, and now there's 48 booths over there. The THIP, the Tribal Health is there, the Indian Health Service is there, the CRC, Child Resource Center is there. Let's see, what other programs that were kind of new? Suicide prevention was there. There was 48, and they all threw in and they got prizes. So these kids, they had a run. They had a dog parade, a doll parade. So there was a lot of res dogs all dressed up in beaded vests. Res dogs with beaded belts, and res dogs all, looking Indian. And then one of our relatives, he's an iron pipe. They call him Alexi. He used to go by Lee, but when you transgender and you change, you can choose a new name. So he goes by Alexi. He made a full human, and it had a beaded belt, and it was a giant doll, and he brought it over to be in the doll parade. I'll put it on Piccadilly Press, but it was so impressive. It was just so beautiful, this doll. So the celebration of your cousins and of your relatives, to just think about, in this, set your intention. Mike Duncan always says, set your intention. Your intention can be to celebrate with your kinship. Celebrate with your relatives. Celebrate, because we just had, last week was Molly Amesback Bullshoe's 100th birthday. So everybody threw in and did food, put up lodges, just barbecued, decorated, and we celebrated her 100 years on the earth. And then this week, and I'm not quite sure which day it is, I think it's Saturday, Gertie Heavy Runner will be 100 years old. So Gertie, everyone's getting ready to celebrate her 100 years. And these are two women who had lots of kids, 10 or more, and then adopted some more and raised them all. Because when they lost their partners, they were single moms, and they raised all of their kids. And now all of their kids are on tribal council. Executive director of this program, that program, CEO of that program. And just a couple of them are in jail. But that's, you got some cousins, they're in jail. They haven't learned the lesson yet, right? That doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means they got caught. Celebrate your relatives. Write a letter to that one that's in jail. They call it God's house. When you're locked up, you're in God's house, because you are having a lot of conversations just between you and God. And that's when you often find your spirituality. I know I can say that. After I sobered up, I had to go and clean up the wreckage of my past. And one of the cleanups was I had a DUI in California and a DUI in Nevada. And computers talk to computers. And so I had to go and spend 10 days in the prison outside of Reno after I was already sober. But it was the best thing I did, because that reinforced my sobriety. I had been sober, like almost 4 years. And I had to go back and face the consequences of when I was not sober. And I just remember doing prayers and going in there, and all of the Indian women, and this is just my memory, they were also down beaten. A lot of them didn't have their teeth, they didn't have their children anymore, and they were really mad at some man, because they were heteros. They were mad at some man, blaming him, and so they were so angry they couldn't hear, because when you're so angry you can't learn. Remember that. When you are so angry, you cannot learn. So you have to figure out how to go to the sweat, clean yourself off, get your face painted, go through wiping of the tears, go through something where you can let it go so that you're able to hear. Because when you hear, that's when you spiritually grow. That's why I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Okay. So this celebration. I was speaking to Steve Barrios this morning, and Steve is just such a precious, and again, I've said this before on the Power Hour and Wellness Wednesday. It's a lot of our belief here in this region that our Two-Spirit are all holy people. They just haven't gotten the lesson about what they're gifted with. And if they're still, drinking Budweiser or drinking wine, you don't know what your gifts are. I guess it's 100 degrees and the iPhone is overheating. So I'm just going to take a few more minutes and wind down with this talk on celebration. And I'm right in front of the fan so that, it feels like it's 100 degrees here. How is it where you are? So the celebration, a few more, just a couple of stories on celebration. We have tomorrow during this inauguration, we have some council members that were on council before and then they didn't make it and now they made it this time. So we're going to be celebrating them because they came back and they learned more and they learned that they have to work for the people. And so that's going to be the celebration. There's also, we're having Indian relay. So coming, our Indian relay here is really good. They got at least 12 teams warming up. At the rodeo, they have a whole full rodeo going on. And I think it's points for INFR. And there'll be a lot of events that include all of our Alberta. So there's a rodeo celebration. They just had the 4-H with all of the animals that our children had raised, and they won prizes. So that celebration was happening. But I guess I'll end with this story. I have a friend who just celebrated 30 years sober, and we always have besides going to the 12-step meeting, and which is often you get a cake and you get a coin. We've kind of invented our celebration is that we always go take the 2 dogs that she has for a long walk, and then she loves to cook. She's a good cook, and she likes to cook ribeyes. And this woman she can eat the whole ribeye. I only can eat half. Anyway, we did the celebration, but this time was different. We do this every year. And when we were out walking, I could see the growth and the beautiful growth in her. I could see the kindness in her and how she keeps things simple and how everything that she has, she's grateful for. And that she never tries to hurt anyone else. So she spiritually thinks about what she's going to say before she says it. It's intentional. And then if she does do something that might have been hurtful, she quickly apologizes. And as I was watching her walk and I could just see it, I was saying, I'm so grateful that you're my friend. I'm so grateful that I could just be myself and don't have to could just say what I need to say. Like, on this Wellness Wednesday, I just talk to you guys. I'm just being myself. I don't have no script. I can do that. Yeah, because I've been in the movies, but I can do that. But I don't. I just come on. Geez, all greasy in my eyes. So celebrate what you're grateful for. I just had a new roof put on my house. I celebrated that last year. I'm getting it all redone, all brand new. I'm going to celebrate that. Celebrate that, I got this war pony. Celebrate your vehicles. Even if you got an old Indian, res car, celebrate it. I'm looking at Mr. Woody Kipp over here. He's the reason we can get into Glacier Park free as a tribal member. So he's got a bunch of groceries in the back, and he's going to go celebrate with his grandchildren, his kids. There's kids walking by. I mean, look at all these. They got a basketball, they got a bat, they got prizes, they got drinks. It is just so, oh, those are Witty's grandchildren, and he's brought them here, and they had prizes for the grandparents, grandpa and grandma that are raising grandchildren. Celebrate that. Celebrate your friendships. Your friendships, human friendships, and right now my celebration is I ran out of bird food because I have pet skunks now, and I have a pet brown ermine. I have a lot of birds, and I even have like bird houses, but I ran out of bird seed because I like to put that out to all of the birds. And hummingbird, I have a lot of hummingbirds, so I'm going to go and celebrate by getting more bird seed for all my birds. And there's eagles. An eagle landed on top of the house the other day, and they drop feathers sometimes. So those celebrate those kind of friendships. I'm gonna just think your intention of celebrating. I'm so happy. I'm happy for all of the 5 headdress transfers, but I'm happy. So we celebrated, and I told Leon, I said, "Can you take a break and I take you to cattle baron?" So he took a break, and and I said, I heard that the crab and the steak are as good. So we got the crab and the steak. He ate all the crab. We got some escargot. He ate all the escargot. They make homemade bread with hot bread with butter. He ate all that. He ate the salad, and he ate his steak. And he goes, "Man," I go, "Yeah, because you're making headdresses. You're in the spiritual zone. You're hungry." And I'm just we celebrated, and my gift was to feed him. The greatest celebration gift you can give is to feed people. So go buy some ribeyes. And if you can only afford hamburger, buy that. Here, gosh, you can get a pound of buffalo hamburger for $7.99. You can get, there's, because we're trying to get rid of diabetes, and so feed someone. Get a bunch of cinnamon rolls. Make a bunch of cinnamon rolls. Make a huckleberry pie and give it to an elder. They'll never forget you. Make a huckleberry pie and give it to an elder. So give me one. Now I'll make my own huckleberry pie. Anyway, I just wanted to come to you in these during this hour. We always promised Wellness Wednesday, and so the topic was around celebration. And Native Wellness Institute, we invite you to go to www.nativewellness.com, and you can request any kind of training. I'm going to go work with the Bears Ears Coalition, an ecological national group at Polson. And then, we have, I think Dwight's out training in California. We just finished Grand Ronde. There's just we have trainings going on, but you can also sign up and ask for any kind of training that you would like. I'm going to even be doing some training for the Blood Tribe, July 31st in Kalispell. I always like Kainai because, Kainai are the wittiest. Kainai are the kindest, but they're ruthless. That's why I love them. Anyway, I like to spar with them. And so celebration, and I just say to you, I was just looking, geez, Godzilla, I don't have no eyelashes. Godzilla eyebrows probably need to be waxed. But, I'm celebrating. I think I look pretty good. just a real Indian, nothing fake. I think I'd look weird if I had fake stuff on. I think I'd look weird if I had fake stuff. Anyway, I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be a fake ass Indian. So what you get every Wednesday is Nistu Makoyo Sakoi. I like humor, and I'll try to bring you just messages like today of celebration that keeps our mind, body, and spirit in sync, in harmony, in serenity, in peacefulness. And so I'm going to go mosey and do my errands, and then I'm going to go jump in the lake. Yesterday I stayed in the lake, and I just got in the water like this and said my prayers, sang a couple songs to the water, and I stayed cool. And so that's what I'm going to do, because boy, it is blazing hot right here. I can just feel it. But Native Wellness Institute, we promise to bring you every Wednesday to come on, and so I'm just coming on live. We got zapped twice because it's too hot, and so I'm gonna mosey off and invite you. If you're in Browning, Montana, please come to the headdress transfer supper time on Saturday. Plus, there's the parade at 11, grand entry at 2. There's just a lot of really good stuff happening. Plus, so many people set up camp. Just go to their camp and have a cup of coffee and visit. I'm going to do some of that too. So with that, I'm going to say Kitakito Matsuno and Kitsikako Mem. One of the kids here had an umbrella that said Kitsikako Mem, and they goes, "What does this mean?" And I go, "It means I cherish you. I love you." It means more than I love you. It means I cherish you. Kitsikako Mem. Kitsikako Mem. Kitsikako Mem. Kitsikako Mem. Kitakito Matsuno.